I've got like a couple of 10 minutes tonight. A couple of 10-minute shorts, some micro short films. So here's the thing about micro short films that I want to talk about. So I think it's going to probably become pretty serious. So the micro short film, I think it has to be less than 10 minutes, 10 minutes or less. It can be done in any fashion. Like you can have credits roll in, you can have like, you know, freaking Kate Blanchett in it, but it has a beginning, a middle, and an end to a certain degree. It doesn't have to be like structured dialogue or anything. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end, like everything does. Every breath has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, you start to breathe in, there's a slight little pause in some form or fashion, then there's an exhale. That's a beginning, a middle, and an end. That moon just sunk. But regardless, that's debatable through all those who study Aristotle. Not everybody agrees with what a story exactly is. I was listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers in a commentary the other day, and they are great storytellers and musicians, and I think it was Flea, it was Flea. If Flea was talking about a Californian song, something California. It was a lady in a song, and Dana, California or something like that, pregnant with the baby inside, teenage bride with the baby inside. That lyric, and he was talking about when he wrote that song, or when they were writing that song, that he liked the fact that it could have a beginning and maybe like a middle and then just kind of end, you know, or like it had a beginning and it didn't really conclude. And there was another song that he was talking about how it didn't conclude, but it just kind of started and then just kind of drifted or something, right? And then another song was linked to that, so that kind of had a conclusion or whatever. So it wasn't like beginning, and then middle and end structure. It was pissing off Aristotle. That's what he was talking about. He was pissing off Aristotle. So Aristotle was all like, you know, these are the different components of a play or a story or whatever. You know, you have song, you have dance, you have a voice, right? A voice, which is like a protagonist speaking. And that works because the protagonist is good in some nature. Even if the protagonist is evil, there's something legit about it, right? To a certain degree. That was Aristotle was talking about, voice. So you've got the dance, you've got the song, right? Maybe you could even say it's music. And then you could even say that there's a voice somewhere in there, right? It could be part of the voice that sings the song, or it could be the voice that tells the story. But there's a voice in there, and it's legit. Because it's a voice, it's legit, right? It's a voice that sounds like a person. It could be a female, little kid, a person that we know that's a human. Even though if it was a dog or a cat or a snake or whatever it may be, a bird, it's still thinking like we think, right? So that's what makes it a voice, because it thinks like we think in a way, right? It's just not like an advertising for like indoor skydiving, right? Even that's kind of a voice, because let's say if you're away from civilization for like 1,000 years and you saw that sign that said indoor skydiving, you'd probably start crying, even though those are just words, right? It still can be a voice. So it's debatable on what the voice is, but you got to realize this: that Aristotle knew some certain things because he went up to all the plays as like a critic, and he looked at all the plays and he said, okay, this is what I see that's going on with all the plays. Okay, I know that there's dance somewhere in there, and like maybe one play had dance, another play had something that reminded him of dance, so he could see it in some form or fashion. He also heard music. It's like there's some kind of music in this play. He went and saw the birds, or he saw Aristophanes something, you know, like the frogs or whatever. And then he saw maybe Oedipus Rex, you know, doing, Sophocles, Oedipus Rex or whatever. And he saw like all this, like he saw Medea or whatever. And he was like, okay, I know that there is dance. I know that there's a song, right? I know that there's voice. Then there's some kind of spectacle. You know, like in this thing, it's definitely cars are part of it. License plates are part of it. People get all pissed off about license plates, right? Oh no, what's that guy? Is he from Brazil? Is he a drug dealer? We don't know. Look at this, Dallas Parkway. So Dallas is also a big character, right? Or spectacle, right? Aeschylus knew everything about spectacles, right? Spectacle that you look at, right? Aeschylus wrote Oresteia. All the big spectacle plays, right? Plays with scenery. You got scenery, right? That was what he was talking about. So that was another thing, right? Then there's like the theme is in there, right? And then you got some kind of plot, some degree, maybe a plot. Which that's debatable too, because not every movie has really a plot always. But then there's a character. And there's the fight between the plot and the character, right? You got the character, you got the plot, you got the plot, you got the character. They fight with each other. Is it a character movie? Is it a plot? Well, there's a plot in Taxi Driver, but it's very character based because you're dealing with narrations like Notes from the Underground, right? With his Dostoevsky. He wrote these notes. He was underground. He was hidden when he wrote these notes, and he wrote them about us because we're part of his idea. We're all not only part of his spectacle, but we're part of his thought, his actions, and he's writing about him being lonely and also, right? So that's Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle. So you've got like, you know, you got a voice there, but you also have thought, right? Aristotle talked about thought in plays. So he talked about all these, you know, you got to read Poetics, but he talked about this is what makes up a play, right? So a song can be a play, but a movie could be a play too, right? A screenplay can have all those aspects of it. So there is structure in these things, and you can break it down. Now things have changed, but if you think of what, you know, you think about a micro short as opposed to now I'm going back, right? So I'm talking about the whole idea of micro short films. This is really cool too. I pass this almost like every day. It's really weird. Look at it. There's cars in there. Those are real cars. Now you might think they're toy cars, but they're real. You can buy those cars. It's crazy. Then they just kind of they make them go down, and then you drive off in them. Okay, it's a big thing. Okay, so anyway, micro, you're only dealing with 10 minutes to tell the story. So somehow you want to do it, you know, like you want to start off, and then there's like some kind of middle, and then you want to have like an end. You want to at least tempt that. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be an end. There really is never really an end. But the thing is this. The Strokes talked about there is no end or something. The end is the end, or the end is there is no end to the end, or whatever. But here's the thing though, about Aristotle and stuff. Well, let's go, you know, that's pretty much it. You can sit there and say what does make a play, what does make a movie, blah, 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 right? But the thing is that, like, you have and if you're 420 in this, you're going to get it. But I'm not promoting 420 okay? I just made that word up. It's probably going to make the dictionary in urban pretty soon. 420 is plural. I mean, it's not plural, I'm sorry. It's a verb. It's 420 right? 420 with ing. That's not what it's about, though. I'm just being funny. But anyway, kind of. We just went over. Oh no! I got 15 seconds. Okay, and then we'll. So the micro short film is like the short film. Hollywood does the short film 40 minutes or less, which means that it could be a short film, but it can't go over 40 minutes, right? And then it could be an Academy Award. All right. Anyway, that's it.